Unforgettable intimacy isn't about performance, it's about presence. Make her feel seen, desired, and emotionally safe. Learn her rhythm, respond to her body language, and stay connected even after the act. Don't just seek pleasure, create an experience. When you lead with depth, not ego, she won't just remember the night, she'll remember you. When it comes to unforgettable intimacy, most people think of technique, duration, or how many positions they can pull off. But what truly makes a woman remember you, what etches you into her body, her mind, her heart, is your emotional presence. That might sound soft to some, but it is far from weak. Emotional presence is not just about feelings. It's about being fully there, in the moment, with her. It's about shutting out distractions, dropping the ego, and choosing to engage with her soul first, before you ever touch her body. Women are emotional beings. They live and breathe connection. For her to open up to you fully, she needs to feel seen, not just looked at. She needs to feel understood, not just heard. When a man walks into the room but brings his mind, attention, and energy somewhere else, she feels it. She senses the disconnection. She might go along with it. She might even enjoy parts of it, but she won't remember it, because it didn't touch her deeply enough. Emotional presence is what separates a physical moment from a spiritual one, and women crave the spiritual. It's what makes the physical unforgettable. Being emotionally present means your mind isn't racing through performance anxiety. It isn't ticking off checklists. It isn't replaying the last argument you had or thinking about the next one. You are here, in this moment, with her, watching her, not with judgment, but with admiration, listening to her breaths, reading her cues, matching her pace. This kind of attention is rare, and because it's rare, it's powerful. You can't fake presence. Women are intuitive. They pick up on the subtle things, the way your eyes dart away, the distracted energy in your touch, the way you rush instead of savor. But when you're truly locked into her, when your gaze is steady, your energy calm, your focus sharp, she melts, she lets go, because your presence tells her, I'm here, I see you, I want all of you. This is where the real foreplay begins. Before your hands roam, before your lips touch hers, your energy is already speaking to her. The way you sit close and just let silence fall comfortably, the way you notice the curve of her smile, the way you respond when she's nervous or vulnerable or uncertain. Presence tells her she's safe. And for a woman, safety is the greatest aphrodisiac. When she feels safe, she'll let go. When she lets go, the connection becomes electric. This isn't about being overly sensitive or dramatic. It's about being emotionally intelligent. You can still lead. You can still be dominant. You can still bring the fire, but you're not disconnected. You're not just trying to get off. You're there to share something. And that shared moment, when charged with emotional presence, will burn into her memory. She may forget names, faces, and even some of the details, but she will never forget the way you made her feel. It's important to understand that emotional presence isn't something you switch on in the bedroom alone. It starts from the way you speak to her throughout the day, the way you look into her eyes when she's telling you about her day, the way you remember the small things she said. When she starts to feel emotionally connected to you outside of intimacy, her body becomes an extension of that trust. Her desire doesn't just come from attraction, it comes from emotional alignment. That's when the chemistry becomes explosive. You become unforgettable not by what you do, but by how present you are while doing it. That's the secret. Your presence can turn the simplest touch into something that sends shivers down her spine. Your energy can take her places that no technique ever could. Because she knows, it wasn't just sex. It was an experience. It was a moment that felt sacred. She will replay that moment, not because it was wild or rough or sweet, but because it was real. If you want to fuck her like she'll never forget you, begin by showing up, not just physically, but emotionally. Peel back the layers of performance and step into authenticity. Be a man who knows that his presence is the true power and uses it to awaken every part of her. That's how you make her feel something she won't forget. That's how you leave your mark. Confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can have, especially when it comes to intimacy. It's the kind of energy that doesn't shout, but speaks volumes. It's calm, grounded, and assured. But here's where many get it wrong. They confuse confidence with cockiness. They think being loud, dominant, or over the top means they're owning the room or the moment. In reality, true confidence is quiet. It's felt, not forced. And when you bring that kind of confidence into the bedroom, it changes everything. Women don't want to be with someone who's trying to prove how good he is. They want someone who already knows he is. There's a big difference. One is about validation. The other is about certainty. Cockiness tries to dominate, to impress, to control. Confidence just is. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need to outperform anyone. It stands on its own. A confident man doesn't rush. He's not desperate to prove anything. He takes his time. He watches. He listens. He reads her body like it's a language he's fluent in. Because he's not trying to reach a destination. He's focused on the journey. He's aware that her pleasure is not a performance. It's a connection. And he has no interest in rushing through it like a checklist. Cockiness is about ego. It's about taking rather than giving. It says, look what I can do. Confidence says, let me feel where this goes. A woman can feel the difference immediately. She may not say it, but her body knows. One makes her retreat, even if she doesn't show it. The other makes her lean in, trust, and open up. A man who's truly confident doesn't need to speak a word about how good he is. His touch will say it. His energy will show it. His calm, his patience, his attention. These are the things that communicate assurance. When you enter a room and you're not seeking approval, not trying to be the loudest or flashiest, you become the most powerful. Because you're centered, and that groundedness is sexy. In intimacy, confidence looks like curiosity. It's not assuming you already know everything. It's being present enough to explore her, to respond to her cues, to adjust when needed. It's the ability to slow down, to pause, to shift directions because you're actually tuned in. Cockiness doesn't listen. It performs, it assumes, and more often than not, it disappoints. When a man brings confidence without cockiness into the bedroom, the experience becomes about her as much as it is about him. He knows that intimacy isn't just physical, it's energetic. He knows that eye contact, breath, timing, and even silence can be more arousing than any move from a movie. He's not trying to mimic what he's seen. He's creating something new, something that belongs to just the two of you. This kind of confidence also knows how to handle feedback. It's not defensive or insecure. It doesn't fall apart if she guides or redirects. Instead, it embraces it. Because the goal isn't to control, it's to connect. A cocky man might get offended or withdraw if something doesn't go perfectly. A confident man sees it as a chance to go deeper, to learn her better, to show up more intentionally. And here's the part that most overlook. True confidence comes from self-awareness, from knowing your value, your power, and your worth, but also knowing your imperfections and embracing them. A man who can laugh at himself, who isn't thrown off by a little awkwardness, who stays playful and open even in moments that aren't smooth. That's the kind of man she doesn't forget. Because he's human. He's real. And he's not trying to be anything else. Women don't remember the guy who tried to impress them. They remember the one who made them feel seen, safe, and desired. They remember the one who didn't need to show off because he already knew who he was. That's the difference confidence makes. And when you bring that into intimacy, when you lead with that energy, her body, her heart, her mind, they remember you. Long after the night is over. Seduction is not something that begins with a touch or a kiss. It doesn't start when the lights go off or when clothes begin to slip away. Real seduction, lasting, unforgettable seduction, starts long before the bedroom. It's an energy, a tension, a dance that builds quietly through the things most people overlook. It's in the way you speak to her, the way you notice her, the way you make her feel like she's the only woman in the room without even saying it. So many men believe that the key to seduction lies in the moment right before intimacy, but by then, the most important part has already happened. The most powerful seduction begins in the everyday. The glances that linger a second too long, the voice that lowers just slightly when you say her name, the way you make her laugh with ease, the way you listen to her like every word matters. That's where you plant the seed. That's where you start building the anticipation. It's in the way you touch her without needing to touch her. A brush of the hand, a casual compliment that feels intimate, not generic. A look that says more than words. The kind of look that lingers just a little longer than it should. The kind of look that says, I see you. Not just her body, but her essence. That's where she begins to soften. That's where the walls start to come down. Seduction is about creating safety and mystery at the same time. It's about being warm, but not too available. It's about being confident, but not arrogant. When a woman feels both safe and excited in your presence, she'll naturally want to move closer. Not because you forced anything, but because the energy between you becomes undeniable. It's in the words you choose, the tone you use. It's the way you make her feel when she's talking about something small and you treat it like it matters. It's how you remember the little details, her favorite scent, the way she likes her coffee, the song she hums without realizing it. These are the things that make her feel cherished. And when a woman feels cherished, her desire opens up naturally. The bedroom is only the destination. The journey begins in the way you live around her, in how you carry yourself, how you show up, how you respect her space while also making your intentions known. A seductive man doesn't press, he pulls. He creates an energy that invites her to come closer. He doesn't rush. He doesn't need to, because everything he does, every gesture, every word, every pause, is building that tension. And tension, when done right, is irresistible. Even in silence, you can seduce. The quiet confidence you carry, the patience you exude, the way you let moments stretch out without trying to fill the space. These are the marks of a man who knows what he's doing, because he knows that the best things build slowly. They simmer before they boil. And when you finally do step into the bedroom, everything you've done before that moment matters. It all adds up. The way you looked at her, the way you touched her hand, the way you leaned in when she spoke, all of that becomes part of the experience. It's not just about the act. It's about the story you've written together before the first kiss even happened. A woman remembers how you made her feel. She remembers the build-up, the tension, the anticipation. She remembers how her body responded not just to your touch, but to your presence. That's what seduction really is. It's emotional, it's intellectual, it's energetic. And when you master the art of starting long before the bedroom, you'll find that she's already half undressed in her mind, long before you ever lay a hand on her. That's the kind of seduction she never forgets. When it comes to unforgettable intimacy, most people focus on learning the body. What spot to touch, what move to make, what position to try. But the real key to deep, powerful connection isn't just about knowing her body. It's about knowing her body language. Because her body speaks before her mouth ever does. It tells you when she's tense, when she's open, when she's holding back, when she's craving more. And if you can learn to read that silent language, you will know how to touch her in a way no one else ever has. Every woman is different. What feels good to one might be uncomfortable for another. What turns one on might make another shut down. That's why there's no universal formula. There's only sensitivity, attunement, awareness. And that comes from watching her, really watching her. Her breath, her eyes, the way her muscles shift, the way her hips react, the way her chest rises. All of that tells a story. All of that is feedback. And a man who can tune into that without needing her to say a word is the one she won't forget. It starts even outside of physical touch. the way she leans in when she feels safe, the way she pulls back when she's uncertain, the way her gaze lingers when she wants you to come closer. These are subtle cues, but they're everything. They tell you when to move forward, when to pause, when to let the silence stretch, when to take the lead. It's not about manipulation, it's about mindfulness. When you pay attention to the whole of her, not just her curves, but her signals, her rhythm, her energy, she feels that. She feels understood without having to over-explain. And that kind of understanding builds trust. A lot of men miss the cues because they're so focused on the goal. They want to impress, to perform, to do what they think works. But when you're stuck in your head, you're not in tune with her body. And that disconnect is what makes the whole experience feel mechanical instead of magnetic. Women don't just want you to do things to them. They want you to respond to them. They want to feel like you're present enough to notice when something feels good, when it's too much, when it's not enough, when she needs something slower, deeper, gentler, or bolder. The truth is, a woman's body will always tell you more than her words can. The arch of her back, the grip of her hand, the shift of her legs, the way her skin responds to your touch. These are signs. Some are invitations. Some are boundaries. Both deserve your attention. And the man who notices the difference between the two becomes a man she can trust with all of her. Because reading her body language isn't just about better sex. It's about making her feel safe, seen, and respected. When she knows you're tuned in, she can let go of performance. She can drop the act. She can surrender to the moment without fear of being misunderstood or rushed. That surrender is where the deepest pleasure lives. That surrender is where unforgettable moments are created. And don't think this is just about physical intimacy. Her body language outside of the bedroom tells you just as much. The way she stiffens when she's overwhelmed, the way she fidgets when she's unsure, the way she exhales when she finally relaxes around you. These are the moments that teach you who she really is, what she needs, what she fears, what she desires. When you show her that you care enough to notice, that you're not just after her body but after her experience, her guard drops. Her desire deepens. She begins to trust you with parts of herself that no one else gets to see. And trust me, that's what she remembers. That's what sets you apart. Because any man can learn technique. Not every man takes the time to learn her language. If you want to be unforgettable, don't just focus on doing things to her. Focus on doing things with her, guided by her. Let her body guide you. Let her silence guide you. Let her responses guide you. Make her feel like every move you make is made just for her. Because when she feels that, she doesn't just enjoy the moment, she craves more. She replays it in her mind. She holds on to it. And you become the man her body never forgets. Intimacy is not a race, and it's not a checklist. It's a dance. And just like any dance, it has rhythm. An unspoken tempo that you must learn, feel, and honor. Too often, the focus is on the act itself, how long it lasts, how many moves you know, how intense it gets. But what truly makes a moment unforgettable for a woman is when a man learns to master the rhythm, not just the act. The rhythm is what creates connection. It's what makes her body feel understood, not just touched. It's what makes her feel like you're with her, not just using her. Every woman has her own rhythm, her own emotional and physical pace. It can't be rushed or forced. You can't walk in thinking you already know what she wants, because what she wants might change from moment to moment. That's why rhythm matters, because rhythm requires presence. It requires patience. It requires you to slow down and tune in, to move with her, not against her, to follow the energy instead of trying to dominate it. The truth is, anyone can learn the basics of sex. You can pick up techniques, positions, and tricks online or in books, but rhythm can't be memorized. It has to be felt. And to feel it, you have to be in the moment with her, not in your head, not in your ego, not in a fantasy of how it's supposed to go. You have to be right there, reading her breath, listening to her sounds, sensing the way her body responds to your touch. That's what tells you when to speed up, when to slow down, when to hold, when to shift. When a man learns to master rhythm, he turns an ordinary experience into something unforgettable, because he's not just thrusting, he's flowing. He's not just reaching for a goal, he's creating a journey. A rhythm-based experience draws her in deeper. It plays with her senses. It teases her mind. It tells her, I'm not just here to get off. I'm here to explore you. And women can feel the difference. They know when a man is just going through the motions. They know when he's disconnected. They know when he's doing what worked for someone else, not what works for her. And when that happens, even if the act is good, it doesn't leave a mark. It becomes just another encounter. But when you bring rhythm into the moment, when you match her breath, mirror her energy, and move in sync, it creates an emotional and physical harmony that lingers. Rhythm is also about variety. It's not just about finding one tempo and sticking to it. It's about contrast. It's the slow buildup, the teasing pause, the sudden burst of intensity, and then the drop into softness again. It's the wave. It's the tension and the release. Women crave that variety, not because they're hard to please, but because their arousal lives in layers. And rhythm is what helps peel those layers back, one by one. But this can't happen if you're impatient. If you're rushing to get to the climax, you're missing the entire experience. Mastering rhythm means understanding that the foreplay is the experience. The teasing glances, the light touches, the buildup of anticipation, that's what makes the climax powerful. That's what makes her body scream for more without you ever saying a word. And let's be clear, rhythm isn't about being soft all the time. It's about being responsive. Sometimes the rhythm is wild and rough, but even then it has a beat. Even then you're tuned into her, not just pounding for the sake of performance. Rhythm means knowing when she wants more and when she needs space. It means knowing how to touch her in a way that says, I'm right here with you, no matter how fast or slow you go. When a woman feels that, when she feels you matching her, dancing with her, reading her, it changes everything. She doesn't just feel pleasure, she feels connection. She feels known, and that kind of feeling stays with her long after the moment ends. So, if you want to be the man she never forgets, stop obsessing over the act itself. Start paying attention to the rhythm. Let her body lead. Let your energy respond. Let the moment unfold without pressure. Because when the rhythm is right, the act becomes unforgettable all on its own. There's a huge difference between being wanted and being used. Every woman knows the feeling of being looked at like an object, like her body is the only thing that matters. And while that kind of attention might seem flattering at first, it quickly turns cold when it's clear that there's no depth behind it. If you want to create intimacy that leaves a lasting impression, if you want to be remembered long after the lights go out, then you have to make her feel desired, not used. That difference is everything. Desire is about appreciation. It's about seeing her as a full, sensual being, not just a body to satisfy a craving. When you make a woman feel desired, she feels chosen. She feels admired, cherished, respected, and wanted all at once. She feels like more than just someone to pass the time with. She feels like an experience, a muse, a woman you can't wait to be close to. That feeling is powerful. It opens her up emotionally, mentally, and physically. It invites her to trust you, to give herself fully, and that's where unforgettable intimacy begins. Being used, on the other hand, is about taking. It's one-sided, it's selfish. It's not about how she feels, it's about what you want. And the thing is, a woman can tell when the touch is only about release, when the compliments are empty, when the foreplay is rushed, when the focus is only on her body and not her experience. She might not say it out loud, but her body will shut down. She'll feel distant. she'll protect herself. She might go along with it physically, but emotionally, she'll be miles away. Desire is in the details. It's in the way you kiss her like you've missed her, even if you just saw her yesterday. It's in the way you look into her eyes, not past them. It's in the way you take your time exploring her body like it's a work of art, not something to conquer, but something to appreciate. When you're present with her, when you slow down, when you give her space to enjoy the moment without pressure, she feels desired. She feels like she matters. And it's not just about what happens in bed. It's about what happens before, after, and in between. How do you talk to her when you're not trying to sleep with her? Do you make her feel seen when she's fully dressed, tired, stressed, or vulnerable? Do you touch her outside the context of sex? A hand on the lower back, a soft kiss on the forehead, a hug that lingers just a little longer? Those are the things that tell her she's not just an outlet for lust. She's wanted deeply. A woman who feels desired becomes more confident, more open, more free, because she knows she's not being judged. She knows she's not being compared. She knows she's not being used to fill a void or prove a point. She knows she's being experienced fully, her body, her voice, her energy, her presence. It all matters to you. And that knowledge is intoxicating. It makes her want to give more, to go deeper, to let go in ways she never has before. But this doesn't happen through empty words or flashy gestures. It happens through emotional awareness, through consistency, through the way you respond to her, not just physically, but emotionally. When she shares something personal, do you listen or change the subject? When she's quiet, do you make space or rush to fix it? These little moments are where desire is built, not just with your hands, but with your presence. And after it's all said and done, when the heat has faded and the moment is over, how you hold her, how you speak to her, how you acknowledge what just happened, those things tell her everything she needs to know. Was she just used, or was she truly desired? A woman never forgets how she felt after. That's what she carries with her. That's what determines if she walks away feeling full or empty. So, if you want to leave a mark, if you want to be the one she remembers, you have to lead with presence, intention, and care. Make her feel like she's more than just a body in your bed. Make her feel like she's a woman you see, want, and value. Because when she feels desired at every level, not just physically, she'll give you a version of herself no one else has ever seen. That's what intimacy is really about. And that's how you become unforgettable. Pleasure is fleeting. It's a moment, a spark, something that feels good and then fades away. But an experience stays with you. It's remembered. It's replayed. It lingers long after the lights are off and the clothes are back on. If you want to be the kind of man she never forgets, you can't just focus on giving her pleasure. You have to create an experience, one that engages not just her body, but her mind, her emotions, her senses, her entire being. Most men approach intimacy with a narrow focus. They think as long as she reaches climax, they've done their job. They concentrate on the physical, techniques, positions, timing. And while those things matter, they're just one layer. A truly unforgettable experience goes beyond mechanics. It's not about performance, it's about presence. It's not about how many times you can make her come, it's about how deeply you can make her feel. Creating an experience means you're intentional from the very beginning. It starts with anticipation. It's the text you send that makes her smile to herself in the middle of her day. It's the slow build of tension with your words, your voice, your eye contact. It's the subtle brush of your fingers when you pass her, the way your touch sends messages without needing a single word. By the time you get her alone, her body's already tuned to you. She's already halfway undressed in her mind. When you finally get close, you don't rush. You take your time. You explore her body like you've never seen it before, even if you've seen it 100 times. You notice the way she responds, the places she tightens, softens, breathes deeper. You're not just touching her, you're listening to her body, you're learning her, and in doing so, you're telling her, this moment is for you, not just your body, but all of you. Set the scene. Don't underestimate atmosphere. The lighting, the tone of your voice, the music playing in the background, the scent in the air. These small details speak to her senses. They activate a different kind of intimacy, one that isn't rushed or mechanical. It's immersive. It pulls her into the moment and makes her forget about the outside world. That's what an experience does. It transports her, it removes pressure, and invites surrender. Touch her with purpose. Don't just grope or grab. Caress. Pause. Let your hands linger like you're savoring her. Kiss her slowly, deeply, and then suddenly stop just long enough to build tension. Play with timing. Pleasure isn't always about constant stimulation. It's about building suspense, giving her something to crave. When she doesn't know what's coming next, her mind becomes part of the experience. She's not just reacting, she's involved, engaged, invested. Speak to her, not just with your mouth, but with your energy. Let your eyes say what your words don't. Let her feel that you're there, in that exact moment, thinking of no one but her. When you say her name, say it like it's sacred. When you praise her, make it specific. Don't just call her sexy. Tell her exactly what you love about her body, her energy, her responses. That level of attention creates a depth that simple pleasure can't touch. And when it's all done, don't just roll over or disappear into your phone. Stay, hold her, breathe with her. Let her rest her head on your chest and feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. Let silence wrap around both of you like a blanket. That moment after is where the memory settles. That's when she decides if it was just sex or if it was something else. Something she can't stop thinking about. Something she'll measure others against. Because ultimately, what a woman remembers isn't just how her body felt. It's how you made her feel as a whole. Did she feel safe, seen, cherished, desired? If she did, then it wasn't just pleasure. It was art. It was connection. It was something rare. And that kind of experience doesn't fade. That kind of experience becomes part of her story. Not every man knows how to create that, but the ones who do, they're the ones she never forgets. After the heat has settled, the clothes are back on, and the room falls into quiet, there is a moment, delicate, powerful, and often overlooked, that can define how a woman remembers everything that came before it. That moment is called aftercare, and while many think intimacy ends with the climax, what truly sets you apart is what you do afterward. Aftercare is the unspoken signature of a man who understands connection. It's the way you seal the moment, the way you make her feel held, valued, and safe long after the pleasure has passed. Most people don't talk about it. It doesn't get the same attention as foreplay or technique. But for a woman, aftercare isn't just a nice bonus. It's a necessary part of emotional security, because no matter how intense or passionate the moment was, afterward, her body and heart are still open. She's vulnerable, she's processing, and how you show up in that space matters. If you go cold, rush off, or emotionally disconnect, she feels it. The warmth disappears, and suddenly, what felt intimate turns into something hollow. Aftercare doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't require roses or scripted lines. It just requires presence. It's the way you hold her like you actually want to. It's the way you kiss her forehead or gently brush her hair back. It's pulling her closer, not rolling away. It's asking softly, "You okay?" and meaning it. It's the silence between you being comfortable instead of cold. These simple acts speak louder than anything you could have said during the act. When a woman gives herself to you, she's not just sharing her body, she's sharing trust, and trust is fragile. Aftercare is what reinforces that trust. It tells her, you weren't just a moment of release, you matter, even now. That's powerful. That's what leaves an emotional imprint. That's what makes her want you again. Not just for what you do to her, but for how you make her feel when it's all done. It also creates a space for reflection and softness. Sometimes she might want to talk. Sometimes she just wants to be quiet with you. Sometimes she'll laugh, sometimes she'll cry. Aftercare is about making space for all of that without judgment or discomfort. It's about showing her that you're not just a man who can take her body, you're a man who can hold her emotional reality too. And don't mistake this for weakness. There's strength in tenderness. There's masculine power in being the one who doesn't retreat when emotions rise, who stays grounded when the energy shifts. Aftercare is not about being emotional all the time. It's about being emotionally available when it counts, and that's a skill most never develop. But those who do, they become unforgettable. Think of it like music. You don't remember just the loud notes. You remember the way a song fades, the way it settles in your chest, the way it makes you feel when the last chord hits. Aftercare is that final chord. It's what ties the entire experience together. Without it, the moment can feel incomplete. With it, the experience becomes whole. And this isn't just about her, it benefits you too. Aftercare deepens the bond. It builds intimacy that carries into your everyday life. It strengthens trust, respect, and emotional safety. And when a woman feels emotionally safe with you, her passion opens even more the next time. She lets go even deeper, because she knows you won't just show up for the act, you'll show up after it too. So if you truly want to master intimacy, don't stop when it's over. Don't disappear into distraction. Don't let silence turn into distance. Stay, hold her, talk to her, breathe with her. Let her know, through your actions, not just your words, that this moment meant something to you too. That she's not just remembered when she's undressed, but honored even when the fire has calmed. Because aftercare isn't just a thoughtful gesture. It's the closing note of an unforgettable symphony. It's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. It's what makes her body feel safe, her mind feel calm, and her heart feel full. That's what she carries with her. That's what she'll remember. And that's what makes you the kind of man she'll never forget. When it comes to unforgettable intimacy, the difference between being remembered and being dismissed lies in the depth of your presence, not the intensity of your performance. It's not about how many moves you know or how long you last. It's about how you make her feel. From the moment you connect emotionally, to the rhythm you create physically, to the way you hold her after it's all over, every action matters. Every look, every word, every pause contributes to the experience. A woman never forgets the man who took the time to see her, feel her, learn her, and honor her. She remembers the one who didn't just touch her body, but moved her soul. The one who made her feel like she was desired, not used. The one who created anticipation, connection, fire, and safety, all in one moment. So if you truly want to be the man she never forgets, don't aim to impress. Aim to connect. Don't just give pleasure. Create an experience. Make her feel, not just react. Show her that your presence is her sanctuary, your touch is her freedom, and your energy is unforgettable. That's how you leave a mark. That's how you become her standard. That's how you fuck her like she'll never forget you.